Hello everyone, this is Shrusti. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have Roshan with us. He is a software engineer at Amazon. So welcome Roshan. Uh, First of all, I would like to congratulate you. So how are you?
I'm doing great, Srishti. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. I mean, you guys are
It's
kind
my
of bridging the
pleasure.
platform between the you guys are kind of bridging the gap between the people who need help, and you are kind of helping the community as well. So thank you so much for inviting me to the show. And I'm doing great. That there's a corona situation around the world, and
Yeah.
just staying back at home and trying to help the community along with people like you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Roshan. I think we can start this video with self-introduction of yourself, like from which place you are, what was your previous educational background.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I'm from Kolkata, but I have been born and brought up here in Tamil Nadu. So I
Mm-hmm.
completed my graduation from MKCE. It's a college based out of Karur near Salem. So I completed my graduation in there, and then TCS was the first company which came to our campus for recruitment, and I got job there. And
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for 2.5 years, and then I got to learn a couple of new things and how to interact with clients and all.
Right.
After working there in TCS for 2.5 years, I thought that I should be moving to a better company. I mean, I should be moving to another company which
Mm-hmm.
has more, which will give me a financial boost as well. So for
Okay.
that, I moved to Deloitte. It's again another well-reputed company in
Yeah,
United
of
States.
course.
So yeah, so I moved to Bangalore. So I worked there for 2.5 years. So
Mm-hmm.
after working like for 5 years as in a service-based firm, I thought that it's time, start looking for product-based firm because I will get to learn new things.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working. I mean, I started preparing for companies like Amazon, Facebook, and all, and eventually I got into Amazon.
Okay, that's an interesting part. So, what was your graduation year?
2015, Srishti.
Okay, and in TCS there are actually two kinds, right? Like TCS NQT and TCS Digital. So, for which TCS did you work?
I worked with TCS Digital, Srishti. So we were
Okay.
involved in building software for our clients. So usually, how it used to work is the client would give us the requirement, and
Mm-hmm.
there would be business analyst team who will analyze the requirement and communicate the same to the software engineers, and we
Mm-hmm.
used to build the solution for them, Srishti.
Okay, so it was an on-campus placement, right?
Right, Srishti. So TCS
Okay.
came to our campus during, I think it was month of February or March,
Mm-hmm.
and they conducted interviews for, they conducted actually three rounds of interview. One was the aptitude, second was group discussion, and
Uh-huh.
third was face-to-face interview. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So, and I see that you're not from any Tier 1 college or any IITs or not even NITs. So, how were you able to get into Amazon? Like, it requires a lot of hard work, right? So, how were you able to prepare yourself for attending the interview of Amazon?
okay. So basically, Srishti, there is a lot of misconception among the students that people who
Mm-hmm.
are only from IITs, NITs, are
Yeah.
tier one colleges only they get chance to work with top tier companies, right? But that's not the case actually. So, for example, if you have a very strong grasp on the basic concepts like data
Mm-hmm.
structures, algorithms, system design, databases, so companies like all top tier companies will still hire you. But on the other hand, the people who are from IITs and NITs, they kind of get a extra boost because they have already worked hard. So it's
Yes.
just that the time when they worked hard, people who are in tier two and tier three colleges, they might be watching some YouTube videos or they might be relaxing at their home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
Srishti, the important thing to understand here is the time when they worked hard. So, for example, if people who worked hard at 2011, they are
Mm-hmm.
in Microsoft or Google at 2015, and
Okay.
people who started late and they are in Microsoft Google at 2019. So both have equally worked hard. It's just a
Mm.
matter of time. So
Yes.
that's the difference, Srishti. Other than that, I don't think that people who are in tier one or tier two or tier three, it should not matter at all. It's just that zeal or perseverance that you have for cracking that
Mm.
interview.
Yeah, right. It depends on your knowledge rather than college, right?
Right,
Yes.
right.
And so, how was your experience at Amazon while attending your interview?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question, Srishti. So what I would recommend is anyone who is a software engineer who is going to graduate from college, anyone for that matter, should definitely attend Amazon interview.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not saying this just to crack the interview, but to get that experience. First of all,
Hmm.
Amazon is very serious about the candidate they hire.
Okay.
The main reason is they don't only see the technical ability of a candidate, but also if the candidate will fit in their culture or not. As you
Hmm.
already know, in fact,
Hmm.
everybody knows that Amazon has a peculiar culture, right? They
Yes.
have their leadership principles and they have their own set of rules on
Hmm.
how an employee should work with Amazon.
Hmm.
So if you attend their interviews, you'll get to know a lot of things.
Okay.
How the interviewer how the question is being asked to you and what is the thought process and everything, right? And
Hmm.
when you ask about my experience was again very was pretty good. So
Hmm.
I had total of 5 rounds of interview. I mean,
There are five
most of the
rounds.
rounds were yeah.
Okay.
So first round was a technical test where they told me that you will have to come to Hyderabad
Huh.
only after you clear the test. So that was an
Okay.
online round.
Hmm.
So after I gave the online round, they invited me to Hyderabad, and then
Okay.
I went into their campus, and I there was another 4 rounds of interview there.
Hmm.
So they were related to data structures, algorithms, and system designs.
Okay.
So I mean, basically, every round consisted of 1 hour. Like after 1 hour, 10 minutes gap, and then
Hmm.
another round of interview, right? So actually, the questions were pretty, standard questions,
Okay.
and it required lot of understanding of the core concepts. So, for example, if you have already prepared something, then it should not be a big problem. But in case if you're someone new to the technical world, then the question quite can be quite overwhelming for you. So it's
Okay.
better that people who are going to attend interviews have a good preparation. So
Hmm.
3 to 4 months of preparation would be enough, Srishti.
Yeah, it is good to go with the prior preparation, right?
Right.
So you
Right.
you told that they will ask questions on data structures, algorithms. So is it necessary to have a very deep knowledge into those subjects, or like whatever you know, it should be you should be perfect in that thing. So how do you say about that?
Well, actually, the former one holds true. For data structures and algorithms, you need to have a very deep knowledge. Like, for
Okay.
example, you need to know a couple of things: how
Mm-hmm.
it works internally, how memory gets allocated, when there is a memory
Okay.
leak, and all the other things.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to other subjects like databases, operating systems, that then your latter statement holds true, where you say that we need to have knowledge, but whatever knowledge we have,
Mm-hmm.
it should be perfect. So it's kind of balanced, Srishti.
Mm-hmm. So these subjects we study at our academics also, right? So if the
Yeah.
student start preparing in his engineering days, then it will be easier for him at the later stage,
Absolutely,
right?
Srishti. So, absolutely. So, for example, during the college days, we have a lot of time, and we have a
Mm-hmm.
dedicated semester for each of the subjects as well, right? So it's
Right,
always
right.
better that students who have this idea that they want to crack in companies, top tier
Mm-hmm.
companies, they should start preparing during that time itself. But at the same time,
Okay.
they should also not miss their college life,
Yeah.
because no matter how big company you go into,
Mm.
but if you look back and if you see that there are no friends, you don't have a
Yeah. Right.
girlfriend or a boyfriend, then it doesn't make anything. So at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you need to keep balanced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So how was your preparation? So how many months did you prepare? So what materials you referred while doing preparation?
Yeah, Shrishti. So basically, my preparation was like 3 to 4 months. So
Mm-hmm.
after while I was working with Deloitte, I started my preparation, and so basically the timing was like I used to wake up at 6 o'clock. So
Okay.
6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I used to prepare, and then
Mm-hmm.
9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I used to get ready for my office to Deloitte. And since
Mm-hmm.
my office was quite close to my home, so I
Okay.
could save time in
Huh.
Bangalore traffic.
Yeah,
So that was
I'm
kind of
from Bangalore
positive.
actually.
Yeah, so that was a positive thing. So I then used to go to office and then used to come back and again start preparing from 6 to 9. So totally
Mm-hmm.
6 hours I used to prepare every day over the, I mean, from Monday to Friday, weekdays, and
Okay.
so on weekend I used to prepare for another 3 hours. 10 to 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Oh.
was my preparation strategy. And for reference, I used geeks4geeks.org.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
Uh-huh.
I mean, there are a couple of platforms. We have Lead Code, we have Hacker Rank, but
Mm-hmm.
personally, I feel like Geeks4Geeks is good because
Mm.
it also gives you a lot of past experiences as well. Like for people, for someone who has attended Amazon,
Mm.
if they have if they have selected for the interview or rejected for the interview, they
Mm.
share their experiences and set
Okay.
of questions. So that
Mm-hmm.
also helped me a lot, Shrishti.
Okay.
So for my preparation, I used pen and paper most of the time because I knew that the, during the interview, the interviewer will not give us a laptop or a compiler
Mm-hmm.
where I could compile my program. I used to uh, I have to explain them in the board. So
Okay.
that's why I
Uh,
used pen and paper.
okay. So there were coding questions also asked in the interview.
Right. Right.
Okay. So for coding, you told for even for coding, did you use Geeks for Geeks or any other
Yeah.
sources?
No,
Geeks
I
for
used
Geeks.
Geek for Geek most of the, yeah.
Okay. Is it that much is enough for a student to prepare, or
Well,
any other
I
sources?
mean, as per my experience, I think that should be enough because Geeks for
Mm-hmm.
Geeks has variety of problems. It has problems targeting each company. It has problems for each difficulty level also. For example, if someone is new to data structures, they
Mm-hmm.
can start with a school-based problem, and then they can
Okay.
go to easy. Then I think we have something called medium, and then hard, and then very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's pretty good. So for example, if anyone who's new should definitely visit that once.
Okay. So there are also students who are not very good at coding. So will they be
Yeah.
able to crack the interview of Amazon?
Actually, yeah. I mean, the thing is, again, Srishti, the thing, people kind of have created a lot of hype over tier one companies that
Mm-hmm.
I will not be able to crack. What if they ask this? What if they ask that?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, based on my experience and whatever I want to share to the people who is watching this video is, every single individual can crack the interview if they have that zeal to do it.
Yeah.
For
Right.
example, if you are new to programming, then you can learn programming. We have
Mm.
so many tools like free, like this technical community has grown so big now, Srishti. Like
Mm.
everybody wants to share some knowledge and free
Yes.
of cost, right? Like for example, if you
Mm.
just search Java in YouTube today, you will
Mm.
find thousands and thousands of videos where people are explaining Java right from the scratch, right
Yes.
from variable A, and
Mm.
all the way to advanced concepts. So if,
Mm.
for example, if people who doesn't know programming, even they can get into Amazon, but it's just that the amount of preparation and amount of efforts they put during the preparation.
Okay. So then, what else would you like to share, Roshan?
One thing, Srishti, the selection of the profile.
Hmm.
So basically, there are like tons of people who keep reaching out to me in Amazon, like in LinkedIn or Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
or I mean, some people have my mobile numbers as well.
Mm.
So they keep on asking me for referral. So
Uh-huh.
basically, I just wanted to, how basically we most of the people have doubts that how will my profile get shortlisted in Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So usually what you need to do is you need to ensure that your profile has the important keywords like data structures, algorithms, system design. And people who have just completed their college, they would have worked in a project, right? The final year
Mm-hmm.
project, so that should be very valuable. So they
Okay.
need to ensure, like they need to mention in detail what was the
Mm-hmm.
role that they played in that project, and how did it
Mm-hmm.
create impact for the people who are going to use that project, right? So basically, you're giving the interviewer a kind of a heads up that in case if I join your organization, how much impact I will be able to create for your organization.
Okay.
So your profile should be very good. So that is one
Mm-hmm.
of the major thing, and most of the time people miss that. They need to ensure that they have a one-page profile, and they need to ensure they have important keywords in there. For example, if somebody has cleared ACM, ICPC, or they have scored good rank, or they have solved a lot of problems in Hacker Rank or Code Chef, they need to mention that, so that
Okay.
that will be a differentiating factor between the people who have already done well in their academics versus the people who have done academics plus this extra thing. So you you understand that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm
that's
getting.
that.
Okay.
So that is
So,
one thing.
hmm,
And second thing is they also need to be very active in social media platforms like LinkedIn. We have
hmm,
naukri.com, we have instahire.com. So
okay.
these platforms also are pretty useful. And
Hmm,
apart from that, we also have this concept of referral where
okay.
you can showcase your skill to you can share your profile to someone whom you know at Amazon, and then they will
Hmm,
refer you at
hmm,
Amazon. So
okay.
these are the three ways of how you can get into Amazon.
Hmm. So basically, you mean to say that your resume has to be good. So it should include
Yeah,
all the key points and
right,
whatever achievements you have done. And also, you should have a good knowledge on your projects, what you have done. So
right.
what do you say about knowing the new technologies like now the technologies like machine learning, IoT, cloud computing, and many other technologies are emerging. So is it
Right.
important to know about the new technologies?
Absolutely, Srishti. So again, for answering this question, right, let's go to 10 to 15 years in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you see 10 to 15 years ago, like there was a buzz for the word Java, right?
Okay.
So everybody used to say, I know Java and it's going to have a greater impact, and most of our problems will be solved using this technology or this particular programming language, and it will be very easy to use. And then
Mm-hmm.
people kind of took it very lightly, and some people, took the course and they started learning, and some people still use the legacy programming language like mainframe systems or C, C++, right?
Okay.
But now you see after 10 years, every requirement is kind of related to Java. Like there are so many requirements which are related to Java, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
think of the same scenario for machine learning, artificial intelligence, neural networks, or whatever that buzzwords are there in market today.
Yeah.
If people don't learn that today or within next few years, then again they'll be left behind. So
Yes.
in next 10 years, 2030, people
Mm-hmm.
will be like all the projects, all the import, like the requirements or all the new openings, they will all be related to MIAL, right? So during that time we'll again be regretting that okay, we just used to stick to Java, but now
Mm-hmm.
there are no requirement for Java at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that evolution, right, Srishti?
Yes.
So people just need to evolve themselves and then ensure that they are not left behind.
Right.
Of how Nokia was left behind when they did not launch this
Yeah.
touch-based
Right. A
phone,
good example, I would say. So that you mean to say that how the technology is moving forward, even you need to
right?
adapt to those changes and
Exactly,
change yourself. Okay. Right.
exactly.
Yeah. And I
Not too
see.
much, but
Huh.
not too much, Srishti. Like for example, people might get confused that how much should I learn because
Hmm, hmm,
you are telling me to learn data structures, you are telling me to learn algorithms, now
hmm,
AI, ML. There are so many things. What should I learn, right? So it's
hmm.
just that you need to have a clear goal. For
Okay.
example, if you're going to attend interviews, if you want to crack product-based companies, then data structures, algorithms, and system design, they are must. You
Okay.
cannot skip that. But
Hmm,
at the same time, having at least some basic knowledges of the buzzwords, the buzz technologies, the emerging
hmm.
technologies is not a bad choice as well. So it should be again balanced,
Okay. So you should know basically the pillars of computer science like data structures, algorithms,
right?
DBMS. So other than that, if you
Right,
have knowledge on new technologies, it will be
right.
a added
That's a plus,
advantage to you. Okay,
right?
that's
Absolutely.
right. Okay. And I see that previously you have been working for TCS and then you made a transition to Deloitte. Even Deloitte is a
Right,
very good company, I would say, and it is also a dream company of many people. So, how was your
right, right.
experience at Deloitte there?
Yeah, Deloitte. Let me be very frank with you. So Deloitte is a company where once you go in there, you would not want to come back. I mean, you would not want to come out of that company.
Hmm.
Actually, it's actually pretty good. I mean, the people there, the culture, everything is pretty good.
Hmm.
So they don't add too much pressure on you, and it's pretty cool actually. I mean, people who are again watching this video and if they want to get into Deloitte, I would highly recommend that. It's pretty good company.
Hmm.
People are again very humble to you, and they will ensure that whatever knowledge they have, they will try to share with you, and at the same time, they will also try to grasp knowledge from you. And they have this regular meetings, and they have this regular fun hours. So it's pretty
Hmm.
good. I mean, people should definitely work with Deloitte as well.
Okay. So, how many years did you work there?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay. So,
Yeah,
there, what was your role?
software engineer. I was a software engineer there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and Roshan, I would like to ask one more question. Like, what is your strong point?
I mean, in terms of
Yeah,
technical,
in
do
terms
you
of
mean?
technical. Like you
Um,
said, data structures, algorithms are important, right? So, among those things, what was your strong point? Or I would say,
well,
what was your weak point also?
okay. So basically, you are okay. So I feel like I mean having that preparation, the three to 4 months of preparation, that really helped me a lot.
Hmm.
So during the interview, I was able to start from the very naive approach, and I was able to give them the optimal solution.
Okay.
So I feel like keep communicating with the interviewer and have like the ability to solve that problem. I
Hmm.
think that was a strong point, and I was also able to communicate my thoughts. So
Hmm.
it was not like a very it was not a silent interview where only one people was talking. Like most of the time, even I was talking, and even the
Hmm.
interviewer was talking. So in that
Hmm.
way, I was able to understand that okay, the interview is going in a very smooth manner,
Hmm.
because when
Hmm.
there's a one-sided communication, then there's something definitely wrong. For
Okay.
example, if you are not talking and only the interviewer is talking, then it
Ah.
means that you need to you need to brush your concepts. So I
Hmm.
feel like having that preparation, and that ability to solve the problems was a positive point.
Hmm.
Negative point, I feel like I was being very open to them. I mean, whatever, I mean, the way I'm talking right now to you,
Ah.
the same way I was talking to them as well. Like, I don't know, that is something within me. I don't like to showcase something which I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm.
For example, if you ask me any topic on neural networks now, I would
Okay.
say, sorry, Shrusti, I don't know the topic, but I would not say that I will not know in future also, because
Uh-huh.
right after the interview, I will go back and try to learn of what Shrusti asked me and why I was not able to answer that question.
Hmm.
So that's again, I don't know whether this is a strong point or a weak point, but sometimes people say that you should not be very open to everyone.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's how I am.
Okay. And what would you like to recommend to the students who are willing or whose aim is to get into top companies like Amazon, maybe say Google or Facebook, anything? So it will be a similar
Yeah,
kind of
first,
interview, I guess, even for Amazon or
yeah,
Google if you go anywhere. So how should a student get himself or herself prepared? So can you just give a small gist on that?
yeah, sure, Shrishti. So first of all, I would like to say that IT companies just like all the IT companies, like the IT world itself is just one area where people can get into. Apart from that, there are so many other fields, right? Like for
Yes.
example, say cricket, say
Hmm.
hockey, or say football or tennis. Like there are so many other places also. We
Hmm.
have this yoga, we have politics also now. Everybody is
Hmm.
talking about
Hmm.
politics. Now
Yeah.
we have social media. Plus
Hmm.
people are creating YouTube videos. We know Bhuvan Bham. There are so many
Uh,
people, right?
right,
They are
right.
getting popular by creating YouTube videos.
Hmm.
First of all, I just want to highlight here is
Hmm.
IT industry is not at all the only
Only
place where you
thing.
can come and
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
That is something that students need to understand, and parents also need to understand, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So they need to understand what is their skill, and based on that they can go into that field.
Hmm.
That is number one.
Okay.
Number two, again, now in case if people are only concerned about IT industry, so
Hmm.
all these top tier companies that we talk about, Microsoft, Google, Facebook,
Hmm.
they actually sound bit, I mean, there's a lot of hype now,
Hmm.
because if you're working with on Google, then you are like top tier companies, and then everybody
Hmm.
will start reaching out.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
again, that's not again the end of the world, right? Like
Yeah.
we have super great companies, like we have Cred now,
Hmm.
we have
Hmm.
Udan.com. These startups are again ruling this community, right? The
Hmm.
tech
Hmm.
community. You
Okay.
get investment from entrepreneurs, and then the investors. So
Hmm.
they have a
Hmm.
lot of money, and then start building that company from the scratch, and people join them as well. So
Okay.
people need to understand, like there are so many other companies as well. If you get into top tier companies, well and good, you have prepared well.
Hmm.
But at the same time, in case if you don't get into top tier companies, you can again get into startups or service based companies like Deloitte. You
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
learn couple of new you can go to on-site. So people
Hmm.
who go to on-site versus people who work with Amazon and Google, like they are same. I mean,
Okay.
you will be earning same thing there as well, right?
Hmm.
And you'll
Hmm.
get to meet a lot of new people.
Okay.
So I feel like, people need to realize that anyone who is in top tier companies, only they will be
Hmm.
valued more,
Hmm.
and there will be a lot of people who will be behind them, but that's not the case.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay. That's actually good what you shared, Roshan. So anything else would you like to share?
Not really, Srishti. I just wanted people like you to come, like organize more shows so that there's a lot of people who have lot of misconceptions. So
Hmm.
what happens is when people like you conduct these kind of interviews and you invite people from companies like Deloitte, because I also saw you organized another meeting in the past where you had
Yeah.
interviewed a candidate. Yeah.
Hmm.
So they when they share experiences, that a lot of misconceptions gets cleared.
Yes. Right.
So yeah, I really wanted to thank you and your parents who have, uh, they have given you permission to conduct these kind of interviews. So thank you very much, Srishti.
Yeah, thanks to you for accepting my invitation and being here. So it was actually a nice interview, I guess. So and whoever had some doubts or anything relate any queries, maybe I think by this video they will be able to resolve their queries.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Roshan. It was nice meeting
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Srishti. Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.